So end times not exactly mean that the world is going to end, everything is going to end, but it comes back full circle to Satyuga again, where the human is not going to be ignorant as they are now in Kali Yuga. Naimittika Pralaya is the end of single day of Brahma. I can explain it later, which is a demigod of Hindus, and it means when three world that we consider, because we don't consider Earth is the only world. So Bhu, Bhuva and Swaha, they disintegrate. That is Naimittika Pralaya. Mahapralaya is the deluge at the end of the age of one Brahma. Again, I can explain the time later when we come to it, but basically this is the kind of pralaya when the universe is going to restart, not end but restart. And then Ayantika Pralaya is the final deliverance of soul, because we consider that soul is eternal and the body is just made up of matter and atoms, and that will disintegrate with every life eternal. If it attains salvation, that is known as Ayantika Pralaya. So basically, the end all of the universe, but the restart of a new one. Now that is divided into yugas: Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So right now we are in Kali Yuga. So when the Kali Yuga ends, the Satyuga begins again. Satyuga is the time when the human is not ignorant, has wisdom, is very close to God, following the scriptures, following dharma. So that is how the cyclic nature of Hinduism is. That is what we believe in. We don't believe in the linearity of time. So that is why I meant that there is not end, but it means the ignorance will go away and the wisdom will come back to the humanity. So that is how the end times, not exactly the end times are, but again coming back to the full circle and going back to Satyuga, which is the warm-up question that we do not have end times as such because we are cyclic in nature. That's what we believe, that time is cyclic in nature. Now, to understand the cyclic nature of time, I have some phenomenon which we observe in everyday life and around us, and that explains that we are cyclic in nature. For example, the solar cycle, the rotation of the earth on its own axis, and the revolution of earth around the sun, that is cyclic in nature. The seed forms sapling, and sapling turns into a tree. So the seed basically has all the genetic code, of the tree. That is also cyclic in nature. So the tree dries and the seed comes out of it, and again the whole process continues. The water cycle is also similar, that the water turns into vapors, and then those vapors are turning into water again. That is cyclic. We don't raise eyebrows on such things, but when it comes to the human absolute time cycles, then we have questions here. But again, I want to make my point, like how every second repeats itself in 60 seconds, every minute repeats itself in 60 minutes, every hour repeats itself in 24 hours, every day repeats itself in 365 days. Now the question comes, does the year repeat? So the logical answer would be yes. According to Surya Siddhanta of Hinduism, that is what we believe, how we calculate our time. So there are 60 names of years in Hinduism of calculation of time. So once the 60 names are finished, the next year starts with the first name again. Now, to understand the cyclic nature, one more thing that we need to understand is the yuga system that we have. So the current, the science actually says that there are two possibilities. There are two theories of the creation of universe. Either universe is eternal, it does not have a start or end, or it is it started with the Big Bang Theory. Let's see what the Vedic science says, that the total age of universe is 311.04 trillion human years. And current age is around 155.521,972,944 trillion human years. And that is divided into 4 yugas, as I told you in the warm-up question: Satyuga, Treta, Dwapar, Kali Yuga. And they operate in 4:3:2:1 ratio. The 1 ratio would be Kali Yuga, which is 0.432 million human years. So the total age of these yugas, which is called Mahayuga, comes out to be 4.32 million human years. Now, when you ask that, do we have end times? The exact time, we are right now in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga started in 3102 BC, and we have proofs in form of our scriptures, in the inscriptions on the temples, in the all the old buildings, the old architectures. We have inscription when the Kali Yuga started. That's where the date is coming from. 5,000 years have already passed in Kali Yuga. Now, Kali Yuga is considered to be the time when, and I'm answering the second question here as well, that when the humanity goes down, the morality goes down, human become immoral. The other signs that are mentioned, that famine would increase, drought would increase, diseases would increase, there will be anarchy, there will be authoritarian government, and there will be pollution, crime will increase. So all of the moral corruption would increase. The collective consciousness of this universe, or especially the earth, we are talking about earth here, so that would decrease, because we are thinking on wrong lines. We are not following dharma, we are not thinking about the scriptures, we are not following the teachings of the sages who have, after a lot of contemplation, meditation, dhyan, yoga sadhana, that whatever knowledge they have put in the scriptures, we are not following that. So that is what the signs of the end times are. And definitely, once the Kali Yuga get over, we are going to come back to Satya Yuga, because that is how cyclic in nature we are. So that would be my answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give Ms. Divya Jain a round of applause. Thank you so much. Truly very knowledgeable, and thank you so much for being able to share, I guess, all those extra details, because, you know, every time we have a speaker from the Hindu Speakers Bureau, we always mentioned about the different times, the eras, the yugas, but to really emphasize on the cyclic nature of things, of how seed, water, earth, sun, and even time in itself, everything is cyclic, was quite interesting.
Yes, I wanted to say especially that if you look at the calculation in mathematics, when I was preparing and I was looking at the content, my mind was blown that how much they have calculated billions of years ago. So there is a lot of calculation there.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And so just to clarify once again, you can't, I guess, within Hinduism, you can't really answer, is there, I say, yes, there is an end times, because there really is no end, as it constantly repeats. But would it be fair to say that we are in the end phase of the cycle?
We are in the end phase of cycle, and the cycle going to repeat itself with the Satya Yuga or Krita Yuga. So yes, we are in the end phase, but is the world going to end, or is the earth going to end? No. But the morality will get more and more corrupt, and then that's how we come to Kalki Avatar, the incarnation of Vishnu, which will come to save us. But the other allegorical answers would be that, it is us, the spiritual consciousness, that has to raise itself again to the level where we collectively will save the humanity.
Thank you so much. And so to make the two main points very clear, when is the end times? You also said that it is right now. We are living in that era.
We are living in.
Yes. And the signs for the end times is the morality will decrease. Physical signs such as famines and I think you mentioned a few others.
Pollution, crime.
Pollution, right?
Pollution, authoritarian government. Yes.
Right, and you said the reason why these signs begin to appear is because a lack of understanding of Scripture. That's the reason.
Absolutely, yeah. Lack of understanding, and moreover following it. Even if some people understand it, they fail to follow it. Yeah.
I see. Okay, thank you so much.
Srimad Bhagavatam, which means religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life, physical strength, and memory will diminish with each passing day in Kali Yuga. This will happen because of the powerful influence of the age of Kali. The other shloks are Vittam eva kalau nirnam, janmakara gunodayaha, dharam nyaya vyavasthayam, karanam balam, Evahi. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 12.2.2, which says, wealth alone will determine the sign of a man's good fortune. And we all see that, whoever is wealthy is considered to be very strong. Proper behavior and fine qualities. Only the people in power will get justice, which is very true. We can see it all over the world that people who are rich and powerful are getting justice, while the middle class people or the lower income group, they are fighting for justice. Third one is Srimad Bhagavatam 12.2.3. Dampate bhiruche hitur mayave vyavaharike stritve pumstve kahi ratir vipratve sutram evahi. This is very difficult Sanskrit for me. I only can understand and speak the very basic ones. So which says men and women will live together only because of superficial attraction. The success in business will depend on deceit. Womanliness and manliness will be judged according to one's expertise in sex. And a man will be known as a Brahman only because of the sacred thread. So basically, it is all how you appear, how much money you have, and how much power you have. That will decide everything in the Kali Yuga. So there are many more shlokas in Srimad Bhagavatam and other texts also, which explain that how the Kali Yuga is going to look like. So basically, the morality is decreasing. The scripture is only for namesake. People do read them, but are failing to actually follow them in their real life, in their physical lives. The spirituality is decreasing. While we see that a lot of people are getting attracted to yoga and dhyan, a lot of people are meditating all over the world, but they're not able to understand the very basic context of it, or very, very basic implication that why are they doing it. So that understanding is basically going down. So that is what is being told in about Kali Yuga in Hindu scriptures, and especially I quoted shloks from Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Divya Jain, for your answer. For a round of applause. Thank you so much. To summarize, the answer would it be fair to say yes? Yes, there is a deterioration in the thought of, let me just see the question one more time myself, where scriptures will no longer be regarded as important. So I believe that you did mention that at the end, and yes, said that scripture will only be for like a namesake. Yes. And I guess the effect of that is how just people's thinking will also become deteriorated. It'll be more of a matter of power, wealth, authority, things of that nature that will determine human decision rather than scripture.
That's right.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that answer. And we'll...
Yes, definitely. I would be very glad to answer this question. That this is probably my favorite one now. So, because we have a privilege being Hindu that every being is considered divine, in terms of that every being has a chance or a possibility to attain the kind of consciousness and understanding or enlightenment that the actual creator of this universe has. So all of us can actually attain that kind of enlightenment. I'll say Hinam Dushyati iti Hindu. That means the one who removes the darkness of not only the physical world but also the spiritual world is called as Hindu. That's how I define, or that's how the scripture defines Hindu. So saying that we all, if I don't need to be even a god, but from his understanding or from the creator's understanding, if I see that God would want, or the creator would want, that everyone should be moral enough, everyone should be following dharmic scriptures, what has been told to them, because there is beautiful knowledge out there in Hindu scriptures, and lots of science, lots of amazing spiritual knowledge which can let you to attain the enlightenment and salvation or moksha, which is what all of us are trying to achieve. So from that perspective, if I see what is happening today, it definitely, even not just a creator being, but from a human perspective too, it bothers me. Whatever is happening, we are not able to keep up with the dharmic instructions. That bothers me. So definitely this is bothering the creator. If there is like a physical entity, if we say, or even in the consciousness, or we are creating a lot of negativity around us, and that negative, and we also say what goes around comes back to you, right? What goes around comes around. So saying that definitely the creator or the consciousness of this earth, at least I can say about earth, because we are living on earth, is going down, and spiritually it is going very down. So we need to, and not just spiritually, physically we are polluting the environment, and the creator would be very unhappy seeing all of this. And not just creator, but being a divine, possible divine human being, I am unhappy seeing all of it. Thank you.